We got there, we went to the mission home, and then we were just split up and assigned to companions, and we were only in the MTC for 17 days or something, but we we'd gotten to be, there were 9 of us. We'd gotten to be close buddies already, and I just remember I was getting sent to New Delhi as my first assignment, and that was 3.5 hours by jet plane to get there. And so I was going further away than any of the other guys in my batch. We called them batches, and like cookies. And my mission president, I remember he told me my trainer's like the best. My trainer had been my mission president's assistant until I think that transfer, and he was a really good guy. His name was Elder Ensign, Seth Ensign, is what I've found out since my mission. I didn't know on the mission. His name was Seth. But no, I just remember going to the mission home, and Sister Bonham was there, and she loved us and was crying all the time. And President Bonham was just telling us we had a great mission and it was going to be good, and that we were on our own a lot of the time because it was an entire country, and he wasn't there to babysit us at every second. We had to be responsible, and I think we mostly were in my mission. Had a lot of good guys. For some guys, it was culture shock, but I've liked spicy food my whole life, and I don't like the heat, but I had already mentally, I think, prepared that it was going to be hot, and it was hot. My elder ensign worked really hard, and he never wanted to stop for anything, but we would always stop for water because that was important. Most of the time when we were fasting in India, we still drank water because that was more of a kind of a health, like a health concern. But we got there and we just jumped right into it, and I was sick for the first month. I was throwing up like crazy, and I had diarrhea. And we would teach 8 to 10 lessons a day typically, and I would go to a lesson and then I'd go throw up on the side of the road, try to hide it, try to make sure people didn't see that, but then I could make it through another lesson, and that's how it was for about a month, and then my stomach settled down a bit, but I loved the food immediately. It was hot. New Delhi was like the hottest part of our mission, where there were missionaries at the time, and I think it was like 53 degrees Celsius when I got off the plane in New Delhi, which is I think like 130 degrees or something. And so that was you're walking around in that all day and walking up and down stairs in apartment buildings and things, and that was a shock for sure. But we lived in an apartment there were 4 of us, and so the next bedroom over was Elder Daniel and Elder Basina, and Elder Daniel had just been trained by my trainer, Elder Ensign, and then he moved over a bedroom, and I don't know, we had a good time. We had a really good time. We had bottled water always because. Well, that's like a different story. We always had bottled water because we weren't supposed to drink the water, but in every home, we also had a mission rule that we couldn't drink caffeine at all. And so in every home, people would bring us tea and coffee, which obviously we're going to respectfully decline that, say, we're so sorry, we just don't drink that. There's a commandment called the Word of Wisdom that we believe in. But then they'd send their kid down the street, like when we were telling them that, and he'd go buy us like 2 Pepsis, which we weren't allowed to drink because that was just a mission rule. And so then we'd have to explain, oh, we're so sorry, we just have a mission rule. This is not really a part of the Word of Wisdom, but we have a mission rule that we can't drink caffeine, so please you enjoy it. And that was like harder because people would get us those and they couldn't really afford them. That was kind of an extra splurge. I mean, they weren't like, it's like 26 cents for a Pepsi, but I mean, that was an extra like splurge for a lot of people. And so we'd have to turn them down on that. And then they'd bring us out some water from their sink. And so we'd just say, oh, thank you so much. And we'd always drink their water. And it was nice to have water, but that's probably why I was sick there for quite a bit in the beginning, because it just wasn't reasonable to turn down their water too. I mean, it was to the point where we just had to drink their water. It was kind of being polite. So